What is up YouTube? I'm Royal, I'm rank 1 in Honor of Kings, and in this video I'm gonna bring you my tier list of the best heroes to pick and climb with. I'd like to thank Honor of Kings for sponsoring this video. If you want to play the world's most played mobile MOBA game, there's a download link in the description. The global launch events are still on, so hurry up and download. Now let's get started with my tier list. And in the jungle we have Lamb, Mushi, and Prince of Langing in the S tier. Lamb is one of the most difficult heroes to use, however his mobility and damage is absolutely out of this world. If you saw my Honor of Kings stream, we ran into a lot of Lamb players. The hero is actually absolutely insanely fun to use. The A tier heroes are still really strong. A lot of them are very difficult to play. They could be higher in this tier list if you're an expert on them. For example, Luna is one of the strongest junglers if you're really good at using her. In the B tier, these are heroes that are still okay to play in the right situations. Wukong, if you saw my stream, we ran some really good Wukong players. If you want to add some more engage and some more fighting power in your team comp. And the C tier, these heroes I just don't think are very good. They don't provide that much to your team. However, obviously every hero in Honor of Kings is playable and can be good in the right hands. Moving on to the mid lane, in the S tier we have Angela and Heino. Angela is definitely the most fun mid laner I've played in Honor of Kings. Her damage is just absolutely out of this world, and she's actually very easy to play, so she's definitely my go-to recommendation. She's extremely strong while also being relatively easy to play. Her ultimate ability, her laser, is just so hard to deal with if you position correctly. The main downside is that she doesn't really have a lot of mobility, so she can very easily be caught out, so you do want to be careful with your positioning. However, her damage is out of this world. Opposite of Angela, you can also recommend in the A tier trying out Princess Frost. She brings a lot of utility to your team and still does a lot of damage. So if that's your preferred playstyle, then definitely check that out. I've also been having a lot of fun with Dr. Bian, who unfortunately is in C tier because he's not very good. However, if you're looking for a more sustained damage, big heals, team fight oriented hero, I do recommend him. But obviously the S tier and A tier champions, like all my tier list, that's where you're gonna find the best heroes to try out. In B tier and C tier, these heroes can definitely still be playable under the right circumstances. However, if you do really want to climb and you're tryhard focusing, the S tier and A tier champions from this list are gonna be the ones to pick. I personally recommend trying out Angela and Princess Frost. Moving on to the Clash lane, this is where you're usually gonna find a lot of fighters and tanks. In the S tier, we have Elaine, Sansi, Dunn, and Kaiser. All of these heroes are definitely really strong. Mulan in the A tier is one hero that you could definitely put in S tier. However, she's extremely hard to play. So if you're looking for a hero that you can dedicate a lot of time into, get really good with, and climb, Mulan is definitely a big recommendation. She could easily be S tier. However, since she's so hard to play, usually she isn't as effective as the S tier heroes that I have. I also recommend Charlotte. She's fairly easy to play and can be quite effective. So if you want my recommendations, that's what I've been enjoying. The C and D tier heroes are quite weak. I would probably avoid them. But the S, A, and B tier heroes in my tier list are gonna be really good in the Clash lane. Now let's move on to my personal favorite role in Honor of Kings, and that's Marksman in the farm lane. As you guys know, I've been playing a lot of Alessio, and he's definitely my favorite hero so far. I definitely recommend him, especially for beginner players. Alessio is very easy to use while still being extremely effective. His damage is absolutely out of this world. Joining him in the S tier is Laura, who's actually one of the newer additions to Honor of Kings. She's really hard to play, however her damage right now is out of this world. So if you're looking for a very skilled marksman that you can use and really learn in depth, Laura is my recommendation. In the A tier we have Lady Sun, who I've had so much fun using, probably the most fun hero in Honor of Kings. Her mobility is out of this world, and again, she's a very difficult hero to use. You just constantly dash, your range is insane, and you're a late game powerhouse. So if you're looking for that late game fantasy of a marksman, Lady Sun should definitely be your go-to. Marco Polo is the exact opposite. He's more of a go in and destroy everything type of hero. So if that's your more preferred playstyle, if you want to do that AoE huge damage, Marco Polo should be your choice. Every hero in the SNA tier, however, is really, really strong. In the B tier, I think Ardley can be actually really strong under the right circumstances and in the right hands because he is very difficult to play. However, I would probably avoid the rest of these heroes. However, again, like I said, in Honor of Kings, every hero can be effective if used properly in the right circumstances. And finally, let's look at the roamers, the supports of your team. In the S tier, we have Dolia and Yaria. Yaria I definitely recommend. She's super fun to play, extremely useful, and relatively easy. So if you're just getting started and you're looking for an enchanter support roamer that you want to use, Yaria should definitely be your go-to, especially if you're playing duo or in a team. She can have so much value to your teammates and support them, and so on. If you're looking for more of a tank roamer option and provide your team a lot of crowd control, I recommend Liu Shan. He's in the A tier. He's very, very strong. He's super tanky, but he still outputs a lot of CC. And it's super important to have a tank with crowd control, especially since when you're climbing, everybody wants to be the carry, right? Everybody wants to be the carry. But your team needs the utility, and they definitely need the tankiness to get that, to allow your carries to do damage, right? So if you want to be that support player that sits in the front line, stalls out the enemy carries, crowd controls the enemy team to provide your carries with the opportunity to carry, then definitely recommend Liu Shan. And Yaria is more of an enchanter to enable your carries in a different way if you already have a tank in the clash lane or in the jungle. So this is my tier list for Honor of Kings. If you're having success with some different heroes, I would love to hear it down in the comments below. Let me know which heroes you think are the strongest right now and what heroes you're going to be using on your climb. Again, I'd like to thank Honor of Kings for sponsoring this video. Download Honor of Kings using my code in the description and get a bunch of rewards through the global launch events. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and let me know if you want to see some more Honor of Kings content. Also, please subscribe.